Welcome to Elaine Clark VO Real Talking Tips, where it's all about communication. I'm the author of There's Money Where Your Mouth Is, a complete insider's guide to earning income and building a career in voiceovers, and Voiceovers for Podcasting, how to develop a career and make a profit. I'm also the creator of 2 Elaine Clark apps, Activate Your Voice, 5-minute exercises to strengthen your speaking voice, and Adding Melody to Your Voice, speech improvement instruction and workout. This first series of micro-learning lessons is 52 weeks, so subscribe and tune in each week to Real Talking Tips for a new communication lesson. Episode 15. If you know it, point to the noun. In Episode 13, we talked about storytelling and how using the body and imagination can bridge the gap between you and the audience by creating a 3D world. We follow that up in Episode 14 by adding broad gestures and subtle movements to verbs so they have action. Now it's time to point out where people, places, things, creatures, and critters are located. That's right, nouns. The word noun was first used in print in the 14th century. The Latin grammar word for noun was nōmen, which meant name. There are common nouns, generic terms for people, places, things, or ideas. Proper nouns, a specific person, place, or thing, where the first letter of the word is usually capitalized. Collective nouns, group or team of people, animals, or things. Personal pronouns, I, me, we, us, he, him, she, her, it, they, them, us, you. Why are nouns important in speech communication, writing, voiceovers, and podcasting? Let's get to the point about nouns. Nouns have locations. People, animals, things, oh my! And don't forget, nouns can also be an idea, action, or quality. They can be the subject, object, or complement of a verb, the object of a preposition, or an apposition to another noun. What makes nouns unique is that they have a location. Typically, the location is stationary. But if that noun has movement, like a car or airplane, it may need a corresponding movement for the location. If the car is parked, I would point to it and say, check out that car. If the car just ran a red light, I might move my hand to replicate the car's movement and say, did you see that car? Nouns also have size, height, and weight. If the noun is tall, I might gesture up and say, look at that bear. If there was a little bear cub, I might gesture lower and say, look at that bear. Appositional nouns, where 2 words or phrases that describe or define the other are placed next to each other, the proper noun is often the most important. For example, look at your bear Teddy, pointing higher if Teddy is huge, or lower if Teddy is tiny. Look at your bear Teddy. Often in speech, when someone doesn't know the size or location of the noun, they do nothing. A neutral way of saying it would be, look at your bear Teddy. In that instance, the audience often wonders where the noun is located and why they should be looking at it. A neutral approach can be used when the speaker wants the audience to share their opinion first and not be influenced by the speaker's statement. Collective nouns like group, flock, batch, bundle, team also denote size. A corresponding large or small movement on the word shares that information with the audience. I would make a broad gesture on group if it was a large size, or a small gesture on group if it was only a few people. Personal pronouns have a minimum of 3 locations, inward pointing to oneself when referring to I, me, or the non-binary they. Outward when talking to you, she, he, him, her, it, they, them. And an elliptical gesture when including everyone in they, them, us, and we. Got the point about nouns? Let's practice locating the nouns. Okay, now it's your turn to work out in this microlearning lesson. Here's a paragraph from a science fiction script I wrote for the audiobook section of my book, There's Money Where Your Mouth Is. I'm going to point to the location of the nouns. While you listen, see if you can visualize the location of the people and objects. The other kids looked up for the first time and saw the spaceship. A bright light shone on Alice, and two objects floated down from the sky. Alice caught one in her right hand and the other in her left. One was the photo of herself that she had left the aliens in her dream. The other was signed Zobalt and Garbon. It had two green, scaly creatures in it with yellow eyes and sharp teeth that seemed to smile at her. When she held it up to the sky for the other kids to see, she saw that it had something written beneath their names. It said, "Believe hard enough, and dreams will come true." The three locations are Alice, the school kids, and the aliens. Now it's your turn to read this section and add a location to the nouns. You may find that your coordination is off when gesturing to the nouns, so work on being exact. The gesture has to land on the noun and not on the other words. Thanks for joining me on the Real Talking Tips podcast. To find out more, check out my books and apps and visit my website, ElaineClarkVO.com. Let's stay in touch. Become part of the Real Talking Tips community. Hit the subscribe button and use #RealTalkingTips, #ElaineClarkVO. You can also follow me on Twitter @ElaineClarkVO, Instagram ElaineClark.VO, and Facebook Elaine Clark Apps and Books. And don't forget to practice. It's all about communication. Go ahead, click the subscribe button.